Alexx Media is the best videographer, editor, and producer in comedy. With the help of Alexx Media, comedian Andrew Schulz has been able to ascend to the top of comedy, often being mentioned with the elites. With Andrew's brilliant style, flagrant delivery, and unmatched work ethic, paired with Alex's top-notch videography skills and his desire to get better and sheer determination, the two sit at the top of comedy in the digital media space. This is the story of Alexx Media, the man behind Andrew Schulz's success.
Don't call this shit for Raven, dude, for no reason, dog.
I got the visuals. You just be a horribly good actress.
About to meet somebody else.
I'm going back to jail, man.
Can't tell you that Alex is locked up.
What's up, guys? I'm Jamal Nolan, and welcome back to another episode of Culture Breakdown. A very different version of Culture Breakdown. Matter of fact, let's talk about it. Already you could tell that this is a different type of Culture Breakdown than I usually post. It's a longer video than I usually do. And I just kind of want to talk to you guys about the direction of this channel. Yes, I'm going to continue to give you guys more culture breakdowns like the typical ones you're accustomed to. I'm going to continue to do more motivational videos and more of what you guys love already. But I'm looking to expand. I'm looking to get my content to be bigger and better. I have a lot of ambitious content goals, and this is a part of that. I just want to continue to do things just like this. I want to be able to create content like this, full-length culture breakdowns where we can go through an entire storyline. So enough about that, let's just get right into the video. This video is about Alexx Media and how he went from a 9-to-5 job to being one of the best producers in comedy, directing Netflix series, directing music videos, being a producer for multiple podcasts, and starting WTF Media Studios, home of some of New York's biggest podcasts. In this video, which I've broken into 4 incredible parts/stories, really, they could all be their own standalone 4 separate videos, because just the story of Alexx Media on the surface has everything you need to make an incredible movie. Trials and tribulations, drama, triumph, cries, laughs, and much, much more. In part 1, we'll talk about Alexx Media, where did he come from, and just how did he link up with Andrew in the first place. In part 2, we'll discuss the growth and evolution of Alexx and the role that he played on and off the camera. And then we'll take a look at some of the drama and the trials, literally trials that he faced. Part 3, this is when they take their work ethic to another level and everything they touch turns to gold. And then at that point, careers and potential are through the roof. In part 4, we'll take a look at the recent success, how did it happen, what it took to make it happen, and also what could possibly be next for Alexx Media. Now guys, this would not be a culture breakdown if I didn't give you all of the success principles I learned from watching Alexx and doing all of my research. So trust and believe those principles will be sprinkled throughout the episode. So without further ado, let's get into it. So just like I stated earlier, Alexx did have a 9-to-5 job, and he was doing videography and video production and stuff on the side, just like the rest of us, man, just trying to get out of the rat race, trying to do something, anything to get it popping so he can leave that 9-to-5 job and essentially get away from the man. So it's still unclear exactly what Alexx did before he started doing video for Andrew, but he was in some type of law enforcement, a cop, a security guard. Maybe he worked at the courthouse as I don't know. He was just some type of law enforcement. So when Alexx was still working his 9-to-5, he found a way to hook up with a DJ / comedian / radio personality, Cypher Sounds.
I want to thank Cypher because Cypher was
Alexx Media.
First person who gave me a chance.
See, Cypher Sounds was actually the first person to give Alexx a shot, and it wasn't Andrew Schulz. Andrew Schulz was not the first person to give Alexx Media his first shot. And this is kind of one of the first principles, just hustling outside of your day job until you can afford to leave. While Alexx was working with Cypher Sounds, he actually spotted an opportunity to work with Andrew at that exact moment. So he slides into his DM and say, hey Drew, you're doing question of the day. I think I can help you make this content better. And what did Andrew say? Nothing. He kind of just curved him. But my man took the initiative to shoot his shot. If you see me on social media, Alexx was shooting his shot and he kept shooting. That's a big thing, man. Like, that matters a lot. He could have took that rejection, or maybe it doesn't matter how Schulz turned him down. He didn't take that offensively. He just continued to push.
Remember, he said to me, I DM'd Andrew Schulz because you had one thing up and he thought maybe you could make it better or something. Yeah, question of the day.
Alexx actually told Cypher Sounds that he DM'd Andrew. So Cypher Sounds like, yeah, I'll introduce you to him. We seen him at the Comedy Cellar. He introduced him to Andrew and it still didn't work. Like, he still kind of just blew him off. I find that so funny, especially looking back on it today.
So this is my man.
No, play the quiet storm.
He said, and yo, he does some video shit. He wants to help you out with some shit. And you gave him the super cold shoulder brush off. Like, yeah, you know, like Schulz does. Yeah, maybe we could do some, whatever. Boom, boom, boom. And I don't know how you felt, but I was like, he probably feels brushed off, but that's how initial meetings go, like Cypher and Drake, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, be persistent, keep hitting them up, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, he still didn't quit. He still did not quit. He kind of felt like, yo, you know what? He knows my name now. He knows my face now. At some point, I'll be able to get an opportunity to work with Andrew. Then, due to a dispute / misunderstanding, which Alexx does take full responsibility for, regardless of who was right or who was wrong, Alexx takes full responsibility for it, which is a side nugget. Like, man up, take responsibility for any mistakes you made, whether you feel like it was your fault or not. Alexx is fired by Cypher Sounds.
Then you did something for me, which was taping my podcast like you're doing right now. And you did something that I didn't like because other people would look at me that they don't like it. Now, if it happened today, it wouldn't have went down the same way. I was so worried about how the seller would get upset with me for bringing someone in that did what you did.
What did you do?
When he took a picture of Jennifer Lawrence that was sitting with Amy Schumer, and he posted it. And
technically, I was filming the podcast.
Nigga,
and I took a clip from the podcast that we were filming.
But the only reason, because she said not to tape her. That's why I got mad.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
She told, because we were sitting with Che.
Yeah.
And she said, you guys are filming? Don't film me. And you took a picture. So now I didn't want Amy Schumer or the seller getting mad at me because he put out this little. Now thinking back, like, who gives a fuck? Shut the fuck up. You're in a public place. Shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But
I love this Cypher.
But yeah, and I shouldn't have did that. But also,
but I fucked up.
But I'm glad I did, because look at you now.
Okay, guys, so we're all the way back in the year 2017 right now, and possibly almost simultaneously as Alexx is being fired from Cypher Sounds, Andrew Schulz is dealing with his own controversy and issues on the other side of the spectrum. What Andrew was going through was, at that time in 2017, his brother was his editor and videographer at the time. And because of some mental health issues and another huge situation that occurred over at Brilliant Idiots, Andrew's brother had to take a step back from being a videographer and editor for Andrew. And that's not really a situation that I want to dive into here. It's a very sad situation and unfortunate situation, but that caused Andrew to be left without a videographer. But here's the deal, guys. Andrew always had an ambition to record everything and put it out as content. He always wanted Brilliant Idiots, which was the only podcast he was doing at the time, to be recorded. He felt like that was the best way for that content to be consumed is for it to be recorded and put on YouTube. But without somebody to do the video and without somebody to do the editing, they was kind of left in limbo. But Alexx Media saw his opportunity and he seized the moment. He reached out to Andrew again, and Andrew just like, hey man, yeah, come on. I need somebody to roll with me. And Andrew finally took a chance on Alexx. After multiple attempts, guys, listen to that. Multiple attempts, Alexx finally was successful in being able to help Andrew out. That speaks to determination and never giving up on something that you're trying to pursue. But even back then at that time, I don't think Alexx had any idea of what laid ahead for him. But this pairing of Andrew Schulz and Alexx Media in 2017 was perfect timing for the both of them. Andrew was desiring to do other podcasts, put out more comedy specials, put out more comedy content, and Alexx Media provided him the leeway to do so because he was willing to come in, record, and edit as much as he possibly could in his spare time. So in the fall of 2017, Andrew decided to, along with doing Brilliant Idiots, to reach out and start 2 more podcasts. So Andrew gets this brilliant idea from the rapper Russ to put out a comedy clip once a week, every single week for at least a year. And he started pounding out content. He was using old clips from some of his previous specials. He was using recent clips from that week, but he was just putting out clip after clip after clip after clip. And this helped propel Andrew Schulz's comedy career to the next freaking level. Like, it worked just like it worked for Russ in music, it worked for Andrew in comedy. Like, it worked to a T. Some clips went viral, some clips were blowing up, and Andrew's profile and channel started to gain follows very, very quickly. Flagrant 2, no easy buckets, baby. So I want to kind of break this down for you guys on Alexx's role on the Flagrant 2 podcast when it first started out. Alexx was strictly there to do the boards, to pull up videos, research information, and things like that on the screen.
Do you have that video, Alexx?
And to press record and edit. That's simply Alexx's job description when Flagrant 2 podcast started out. He was never mentioned by name. He didn't get any type of credits on the videos. And then over time, as the videos started to get better and the content started to grow, things started to change ever so slightly. And then in December, Alexx gets to speak for the first time.
Ladies and gentlemen, first annual.
Yes, do it.
Flagrants.
The Flagrants.
The Flagrants Award.
The Flagrants, yeah.
Starring Andrew Schulz.
Yeah.
Akaash.
Guys, you just heard the first and last time we'll ever let Alexx on a microphone, okay? We gave him his shot, we threw up the lob, and he bobbled that shit out of bounds. Well done, Rudy Gobert.
And it definitely was not his last time. So things kind of just go on for a little while with Alexx being behind the camera, people not knowing who he is, what he looks like, what he sounds like for real. You kind of sort of hear his voice in the background every once in a while, but then things kind of take a turn with this one specific event. When Akaash told people to start sending Alexx dick pics, things took a turn. Alexx then becomes a bigger part of the podcast. He becomes a constant joke of the podcast. He becomes a part of the podcast. And then he gets on the microphone, he gets on camera, and he starts to speak.
Show. Oh, get in here, Alexx. Okay.
Alexx been waiting.
Alexx been wanting to talk shit.
Shout out to the asshole army. Throw 'em up. Please don't send me dick pics.
Saying dicks.
Please don't send me dick pics. You guys, some of you, like, god damn. But please don't send me dick
You
pics.
really seemed interested in those. You said
No,
it like you. Some of you.
No,
God
no,
damn.
I mean, it's like too much.
I was about to say,
Too
like,
much dicks? You can't handle it.
You know, you sitting here is only gonna implore more
No,
people to send you
honestly,
dick
the
pics.
worst move was for you to sit here and beg for no dicks. The worst move. That honestly, now if whoever made it to the end of this podcast is for sure sending you a dick.
Yeah,
Listen, guys, if you're embarrassed sending your own dick, it doesn't have to be your own dick. Just send a dick, and I'm gonna keep asking for this.
Once Alex shows up on camera, a few episodes go by and Alex gets himself a microphone and he only speaks sparingly, and that's basically his role on the podcast for the first couple months. And then, thanks to his legendary laugh.
Wow, see, it's good.
Alex becomes one of the fan favorites. We want to hear from him more. We want to see him more. We can't get enough of Alex because his laugh is so contagious. But Alex's role starts to grow from that point on. While Alex's role is growing on the podcast, him and Andrew are quietly working behind the scenes on Andrew's next special, Views from the Sis. They're touring all around the world and they are doing shows together. Alex is getting the feel of recording Andrew on stage, off stage. They're doing video content outside of that, and they are just starting to pump up that they are becoming a dynamic duo in 2018. They are like two teammates that get a chance to practice with each other every single opportunity they can. They putting in extra time, extra work, extra hours, just doing the work together non-stop. You can totally see their chemistry grow over time through the podcast of Flagrant 2, through Brilliant Idiots, through Andrew's comedy content. You can just see the chemistry and video production getting better and better and better. In 2018, Alex is now the producer and videographer for at least 3 podcasts, one being Brilliant Idiots, Flagrant 2, and Horrible Decisions podcast. Yes, Alex did the video for the Horrible Decision Girls as well.
We ready when you are, Alex.
We good.
We good.
Now, towards the middle of 2018 is where everything kind of takes a turn for Alex and the drama begins, the trials and tribulations begin, and things get out of hand. I'm not a drama channel. I'm not covering all the drama like that. I definitely have to talk about it because it's an important part of this story. And I'll get into why it's an important part of this story. In August of 2018, Andrew brings on one of the co-hosts of the Horrible Decision podcast, Weezy. And then they make a joke.
Love you so much. I'm sorry.
Nah, he fucked Mandy, bro.
What do you think?
Really?
I mean,
Deadass?
you never know. You never know.
Yo, son, you deadass?
Yo,
Hey, man, we didn't know.
She tight, bro. I knew she loved you. I knew she loved you, Alex. I knew she loved you. Yo, get that. Yo, son, get that right there on the close-up, son. Get that on the close-up.
Get that face.
Nah, she hurt right now. She's struggling.
She's in pain.
She about to go to the gym.
And let me tell you, at the time, this was absolutely hilarious to all of us, bro. Like, super funny. And I was so much more laughing at Weezy's response than I was at like the ideal of it being true. Like, it didn't matter if it was true or not, and I didn't believe that it was true. It was just strictly about Weezy's response, which tells a lot. This is when I first realized that Weezy and Alex had a real friendship and a real bond. And so around this time, Alex is developing a relationship with Weezy, but also he has fallen out with Mandy, the other co-host of the Horrible Decision podcast. So I believe that Alex was already starting to increase his price for videography for the Horrible Decision podcast. So Mandy didn't necessarily want to deal with that. And because of price disputes and then this major situation that happened, Alex was fired from the Horrible Decision podcast and he was no longer doing their videos. They had to find another means to get that done. But that would not be the last time that they work together, and we'll get into that later on. Now, this is the crazy part. Now, the situation with the Horrible Decision girls started in August of 2018. In September of 2018, Alexx and Andrew are doing a European tour. They are getting all kind of fire content. They are putting out all type of content, and they are also recording again for Andrew's comedy special, Views from the Sis. Now, this is where things really get interesting. Due to a fight and an altercation with a security guard in Switzerland.
He gave me. And he's trying to tell me without telling me that, like, yo, they have weird rules at this place.
Yeah, they're
and I'm
racist.
like, no, I want to know why. And he wouldn't say it.
He goes, oh, you got a nightstick? I'm like, oh shit, this guy's drunk, right? This guy drunk, right?
I didn't think he was going to use it.
Son, the dude comes at Alexx, right? Alexx cracks this motherfucker, right?
That's what's up.
Now, Alexx cracks this motherfucker, right? Punching him in his face.
He immediately whips out the nightstick.
Clack, clack, clack. What'd I do?
So my eyes light up because I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I hit him before he ever hits me with the nightstick.
Right, correct.
That's part of the reason why.
But my man is running after you with a nightstick.
That's part of the reason why you're in trouble.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
now,
I cock him first. Then he hits me like 2 or 3 times.
Alexx is arrested in a foreign country.
like, I don't even want to get into the trial, but like, not even the trial base. I can't really talk about what happened, obviously, because the case is open still. Okay, so for everybody wanting to know exactly what happened, I can't tell you because I'm trying to protect my boy. Okay, what I can tell you is that Alexx is locked up in Sweden,
and it's bullshit.
And he's locked up in Sweden. Everybody is okay.
This causes all kind of nightmares. And I'm telling you, at the time, man, I was so surprised. I was stunned by this. And I couldn't fathom it, man. I was heartbroken for Alexx. And it was like, oh man, we was on pins and needles every single week coming back for updates and details. After almost a month in prison in Sweden, Andrew, his lawyers, were able to finally get Alexx Media out of prison.
If you weren't so fucking top heavy, you could have run, dog. I'm telling you.
What everybody doesn't realize right now is Alexx just walked in the room. Alexx is free. We fucking freed Alexx. Let's fucking go. We're not playing around out here, boy. Have a seat.
And let me tell you, the way that Akaash responded is exactly how I felt as a fan at home. I was so happy. I was listening to it on the audio only. I heard what was going on and I immediately had to go to the video. It was such a relief to see Alexx finally free. But I think that time in prison kind of put things into perspective for Alexx Media. Because when Alexx came out, he was different. He was changed. He was a changed man. He was ready to roll. He was ready to work harder, put in more effort. And you know, it was unsure of whether or not he could go back to his full-time job as a law enforcement agent because he had got a felony in a different country. Which, by the way, we are still looking for the footage of Andrew testifying for your court case, Alexx. I promise you, the fans have not forgot about that. Once Alexx got back home, now his job status is up in the air. Andrew makes a bold decision. Andrew says, hey Al, let's go full time with this content. Forget a job, work with me full time, and let's just go balls to the wall and let's get after it.
So Al, we should mention what we're doing. Al quit his job. Let's do a little round of applause, some clap for Al. Finally,
Hey, proud of you, buddy.
Basically, I had a conversation with Al, and I've been talking to you about this, Akaash, as well. But I how do I phrase this? I want to take over comedy. We're just going. I said to Alexx, I said, this is what I want to do, and I need a guy who's going to be rocking with me on this 100%. I can't work around your job. Do you want to do it? Do you want to take the risk? Do you want to go? You know what I mean? Thank you.
And Alexx said, you know what? Let's do it. I don't need no safety net. I don't need no kind of job security. Let's just go grind and go get it. That's another freaking principle. Forget the safety net. At some point, you gotta drop the safety net and you gotta just go run full speed ahead for your passion. That's what Alexx decided to do when he got out of prison. So I can only imagine that that prison stint had him thinking a lot differently. Like he thought when he get out, I'm not wasting this opportunity. I'm not taking nothing for granted. I'm going to go get it. And go get it, he did. And later in that year, 2018, when he got home, his role gets bigger. He's been in prison. Full episodes are about Alexx. He get a chance to talk on camera. He's on Brilliant Idiots talking on camera. Like things changed very quickly for Alexx as he started to grow and progress as a videographer, an editor, and a producer. So Alexx quits his job the end of 2018, and him and Andrew Schulz have a master plan of content and how to attack the algorithms with full force. In late 2018, soon as Alexx is back from Sweden, you can see the content change immediately. Thumbnails are upgraded. Video quality is upgraded. Camera angles are going back and forth a little bit quicker, a little bit better. Things changed immediately when Alexx had more time. So once 2019 started, these boys was putting out a lot of content. And I'm talking about fire content. They was on the grind. Starting 2019, they hit the ground running and they was on the grind. Andrew was still putting out his weekly comedy clips, which Alexx was now filming majority of those clips during the week, editing them and putting them up. And also Andrew had a show called Inside Jokes, where him and a bunch of comedian friends sit down and they just kind of workshop tough jokes or jokes that weren't getting the right crowd reaction. They just workshopped them for an entire episode and it was absolutely phenomenal. One of my favorite shows, period, on YouTube, and I cannot wait for it to come back. Also, they were doing Dropping Ins, which was a weekly vlog series of wherever they were that weekend. They was putting that out on like Thursday. They were doing weekly clips, Inside Jokes, Flagrant 2 Patreon, Brilliant Idiots, Western Bros, Dropping In. Andrew Schulz was doing so much content. He was bullying the algorithm. I'm a YouTuber, so let me tell you about this strategy that they employed. The strategy that they took was consistency, current events with the podcast topics, great clips, funny stand-up. They were punishing the algorithms. Like the algorithms had no choice but to acknowledge that Andrew Schulz, with the help of Alexx Media, existed. They was here, they was putting in the work, and they was here to stay. They were pumping out viral content one after another, after another, after another, after another. And what Andrew found was that somebody would watch a 2-minute clip or a 4-minute clip and then stay on his page for hours, going from this clip to that clip to this clip to that clip, and he was killing it in the algorithms. Absolutely brilliant strategy from the two of them. It was Schulz's idea to create these shows and to create these contents, and it was Alexx's job to make sure that he executed and delivered that content to the people appropriately. Early in 2019, Andrew released his special Views from the Sis, one clip at a time, one joke at a time, and that was a brilliant strategy. He was getting 2 million views here, 3 million views here, 4 million views here, and they was just off to the races. And then some point during the 2019 year, Andrew went on Joe Rogan. And once Andrew got on Joe Rogan's podcast, he received another mega boost in views and in followers. And they are absolutely bodying 2019. Like I look back at this time now in 2021, I think, boy, that was a special time. That was a very, very special time in life when Andrew Schulz, Alexx Media, Flagrant 2, Brilliant Idiots was clicking on all cylinders. Now, at the end of 2019, because the year was so incredible, they're selling out shows all across the world. They doing all kind of work, right? Because the year was so incredible, Andrew decides it's time to open up Schulz Studio. In December of 2019, Schulz opens up Schulz Studio with the plan and the idea to absolutely crush content and take it to another freaking level. And then, as you know, 2020 happens and everything is shut down.
And the entire country is shut down and quarantined for the next 14 days.
When quarantine first happened, Andrew first started off with just him and Alex sneaking into the studio and giving quarantine updates.
What's up, friends, enemies, family, people? It's your boy Schulz. I'm here at Alexx Media. Alex, say hi to the people.
You're...
And then on March 14th, 2020, Andrew said something that was one of the most important things and one of the most inspirational things I've ever heard, especially in March of 2020.
This is an amazing opportunity. I know that sounds crazy, but this is an amazing once in a lifetime opportunity, okay? The government most likely is going to force you to stay home for a 2-week period, probably, maybe longer. It could absolutely be longer. Force you to stay home. Fucking use it, okay? Use it to do all the things that you've wanted to do, but you haven't had time for. You can't change the situation. There's nothing we can do that's going to change it. If you get quarantined, you get quarantined. How are you going to use that fucking time? Create. Create. Put out some dope shit. You have the internet. They're not taking away your internet, not taking away your electricity, not taking away your food, not taking away your water. They're basically putting you in creative jail. And sometimes when you are forced, right, to create, or you have absolutely nothing to do, you get the most creative.
This speech was different. It hit different for me. It hit different for a lot of people. And I remember thinking at that time, Andrew is absolutely right. What am I doing with my life and how can I get it together? I tried to improve my content immediately at that point. But little did we know, Andrew had something major planned basically right after that speech. The very next month, Andrew started his whole turn your phone Instagram clips and rants the very next month, and he started killing it. He was going viral. He was getting retweeted and reposted by Joe Rogan, Donald Trump Jr., all of these political figures, and Andrew started to make a name for himself in the comedic political space, if you will. He just saw opportunity and he seized the freaking moment. Him and Alex was killing it yet again. Also, obviously with Mark Gagnon, Akaash, Singh, they was helping behind the scenes with writing, etc. But just the video perspective and the delivery perspective, Alex, Andrew, Shaq, and Kobe yet again. These rants go on for about 13 episodes. And then he just stopped. And he said, hey guys, I'm working on something big. I can't really tell you guys what it is right now, but for now we're gonna stop the rants. We'll definitely get back to them later. But right now I kind of got my time and my space preoccupied with other things. Little did we know that Alex and Andrew was bringing those same type of rants to Netflix for Schulz's first Netflix special, which is a huge deal because he doesn't get any kind of recognition from the industry based off the type of comedy that he does, but he kind of forced his way into it. Like, he had the goods and they had to come get it. The people demanded that Andrew be on Netflix and Netflix had to deliver. That's how you do it. Alex and Andrew basically bullied their way into the industry by saying, listen, we're gonna build an audience. We're gonna build our base first, and then you have to come to us. We no longer have to come to you. Listen, I know I've said this a lot of times about them taking their work ethic and their content to the next level, but this Netflix special was really it for them. Like, they was working non-stop for months. And when they got to the last couple months, when they got to the last couple weeks, it was balls to the walls. They was crushing it. And I'm talking about they were working 15, 16, 17, 18, 24 hours a day sometimes. They were just putting in grueling hours to to make sure this special was absolutely perfect, absolutely special, and they was killing it. Then Akaash gives everybody COVID, everything is delayed, they come back and they have to put in twice as much work as they were doing before, and I'm talking about 24 hours, 20 hours. They was barely sleeping, they was in the studio non-stop, 24/7, just working and producing. Alexx was freaking learning on the fly, new editing software.
Every once in a while, I'd pop into edit, and this guy on one screen has YouTube tutorials up. He thinks I don't notice his YouTube tutorials. The YouTube, how do you separate audio video? I was like, we're not gonna finish this special, right? Thank God I didn't tell Mark or fucking.
That's why he in a bay by himself, because he gotta learn Premiere.
Real talk. If Dove knew about this, forget it, bro. Forget it, bro.
He learning how to direct people for the first time.
Alexx Media made his directorial debut, okay? That's right.
Let's go.
That's right. And you absolutely murdered it, man. I was so proud of you. You stepped up to the occasion. You were too confident. You were too confident. I thought you were going to be insecure. I thought you were going to be like nervous telling people what to do. But Alexx was back there, man. He was just snapping at motherfuckers, telling them where to be, what angles he wanted. I was so impressed.
That shit was so funny.
Glad you guys think that, because inside I was nervous.
Really?
Everything was just getting all chaotic, but they came together to make some magic happen, and that Netflix special was absolutely incredible. After the Netflix special was released, everybody was on cloud nine. They was on an all-time high, but New York City was still shut down in quarantine, and Andrew couldn't take it anymore, so they all packed up and moved to Miami. But when they were moving to Miami, at the same exact time, Alexx had been quietly and secretly working on his very own project. And the project that Alexx was working on was WTF Media Studios.
City, August 8th, 2020.
Son, we not doing nothing. This COVID shit is crazy. People got Amazon stores, eBay stores. What the fuck we got going on?
We're doing stuff.
Like what?
I just joined the Black Effect Network, right? Like, I mean, you're a director on Netflix.
Wheezy, no one reads the credits. No one.
Oh my God. Oh my God, we're gonna be broke, dude. Oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to shop at Whole Foods anymore. We're gonna be fucked. I'm fucked. I'm gonna have to do my own nails. This is bad. I can't no more Uber. I'm gonna have to fucking ride the bus. Don't even look at me like that. Cause you know what? You're gonna have to drive a Honda. Yeah, you like your Tesla? Well, you're fucked. Because it's not just me. This is fucked. We're fucked. I'm gonna have to clean my own house. I'm gonna have to move to Jersey. No, I don't have to move to Jersey. We'll just become roommates.
We're about to level up. Hold up.
No.
Uber.
No. I mean, I know how to drive men away, but I don't want to drive people around.
Uber Eats.
No. The only thing I'm going to deliver to get eaten is my ass.
What about flat tummy tea? Might be a little too late for that. Fuck.
Dude, I got it.
OnlyFans.
God, I've been waiting for this moment. Okay, so I'm thinking that we'll do like a nice zoomed in shot of my
Hold up. I got the visuals. You just be a horribly good actress.
Okay.
Like that.
Fuck yes. Oh my God, Alexx, this is it right there. Oh my God, it's so good. Oh my God, yeah. Scrunch them though. Scrunch them a little bit tighter.
Yo, what the fuck are we doing? We should be focusing on the talents we already have.
Like what? And there you have it, WTF Media was born. Alexx Media and I created an amazing audio and visual experience for high-end podcasting and content creation. We're equipped with state-of-the-art technology, mics, lighting, cameras, even a freaking teleprompter, in case you forget all your words. At our full-scale photography studio, we've got everything you need to have you flexing for the gram, from the lights, backdrops, to even the photographer. Come and visit us in Soho, New York at 265 Canal Street. Book your studio time with us today at WTFmediastudios.com.
He was pairing up with Weezy from the Horrible Decisions podcast, and they were creating their own podcast studio along with photography and consultation as well. Alexx had done it. He created his own studio, he created his own vision, and he was making it happen. And here we are, pretty much up to date. Alexx Studio is booming. It's hosting some of the biggest podcasts in New York, like I said, like Wayno's podcast, Rory and Mal, A Horrible Decision. It even held Brilliant Idiots for a period of time when they were still in Miami. Half of Brilliant Idiots was in WTF Media Studios. It's absolutely. So what Alexx did, he was so persistent, so determined. He was never gonna let his dreams go, and he went after it full force. The best thing that I think he did was pair it with Andrew, which is like two people just locking arms and saying, let's go. Accountability partner, and they just worked through every situation. If it was a brick wall placed in front of them, they just ran straight through that wall with no hesitation. And I find this story so inspirational. So I want to thank Alexx Media, especially if you're watching this video. Thank you for your inspiration. Thank you for your hard work. Like, you literally don't know how much you've inspired me to kind of figure it out on my own and figure out my way into the industry and put together a game plan where I can just attack and attack and attack and be successful one day just like you are. What's next for Alexx Media? I don't know, man. I don't know. I know that they're working on Andrew's comedy special. They're working on a few different projects behind the scenes. All I know is the sky is literally the limit for this guy now. Alexx, man, you've come a long way from a 9-to-5 type of job, being a security guard, a police officer, law enforcement, whatever it is that you used to do. You've come a long way to being a business owner, having your own employees, still working with one of the biggest comedians in the world, producing the #1 comedy podcast, and just killing it in every single aspect of your life. Way to go, Alexx Media. And if you guys are still watching this video all the way this far, you the real MVP. Thank you for watching. Be sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe button. Do all that YouTube stuff. Share it. Boost it. Boost it. I want to abuse the algorithms myself and get flagrant. You know what I mean? But thank you guys again for watching this week's episode of Culture Breakdown. I know it was different. Thank you for sticking with me. And until next time, I'm out.